Now we're going to look at our literal equations. Literal equations are when you have formulas and things like that, where you have a bunch of different variables in there. So we're going to specifically solve for one certain variable, and it will give you which variable you're looking for. In this case, we are solving for s. So you always want to make sure that the first thing you do is check to see which variable you're solving for, and do something to mark that variable. Highlight it, box it, do something so you don't lose track of which variable you are solving for. Because when you have a number of different variables in an equation, that can happen quite easily. Other than that, it's the exact same steps that we were doing before. So we're going to start by drawing a wall, because we want to make sure that whatever we do on one side of the equation, we also do to the other side of the equation to keep everything balanced. Then we're going to look at our inverse operations. So to get rid of everything surrounding that variable we're solving for. So since we're solving for the s, we need to get rid of that 4. It's 4 times s, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And when I divide both sides by 4, I get p over 4 is equal to s. And that's all we need to do for that one, because we now have it solved for s. And that's what we were looking to do. Now the next one we're going to look at has a few more variables in it, so this may be a little bit more difficult, but it's still, or it looks a little bit more difficult to start off with, but it's still the exact same steps that we were doing. Okay, this one is p is equal to kt divided by v, and we're solving for k. So first thing I want to do is mark which variable I'm solving. I do not want to lose track of that. Now I can start my solving. I'm going to draw my wall, so I do not forget to do the exact same thing on both sides of my equation. And I'm going to get rid of the fraction first. I don't want to have to worry about the fraction. So since a fraction is simply a division problem, the opposite of division is multiplication. So that means I'm going to multiply both sides by v. So when I multiply both sides by v on the left side, I get p times v. And that is equal to, when I do this, my v's cancel out because v divided by v is 1. So those are gone. So I just have 1 times k times t. And of course, when you're multiplying by 1, you don't have to have the 1 there. So now again, I'm still looking at this k. This is what I want to get all by itself. I want to keep it marked so I don't lose track. And now the only thing left to do, this operation right here is multiplication, k times t. So to get rid of the t, I'm going to divide by t on both sides of my equation. So on the left side, that gives me p times v divided by t. And that is equal to, my t's cancel out because t divided by t is 1, so I'm left with just 1k. And that's my answer. I have k all by itself on one side of the equal sign. So we're doing the exact same steps. The only real difference is you're still going to end up with a bunch of letters. It's all going to be variables in your answer, or there may be a number or two in there, but for the most part, it's going to be variables. The reason why we do this is when we're looking at a different formula, if you're doing some type of scientific experiment and you want to find out what a certain part of that formula is, this way you have it solved for that variable, for whatever is being represented by that variable, so it can make some of your later work easier when you're doing a bunch of different experiments, so you don't have to keep solving every single time. It's already solved for you.